Jay Roth, when I say the name Jamar Chase, what comes to mind first and foremost?
Plenty of good football during his 4 years at Rummel, and a superb athlete.
When did you know you had something special?
Well, a lot of other people knew before me. I mean, the basketball coach knew he had somebody more special. He knew Jamar could play basketball. We had college coaches come through and saw things, but I think it was the beginning of his junior year. We saw some flashes as a sophomore, but at the beginning of his junior year, that first game against U High, to where you knew he could just dominate any game. If you wanted to throw the ball to him, he could dominate any game.
The first recollection I have of what kind of player he could be is you're playing Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey, and Chase Forquet throws a long ball, and he catches and gets hurt on the play.
Yes.
And I think he sprained his ankle and didn't play for several weeks after that, right?
Yes, that's true. And then he came back against Wayne County on national TV and caught a touchdown as a sophomore, and that's when his name started getting out there.
And you had Chase Forquet his sophomore year, and no disrespect to his junior or senior year, but had he had a couple more years with a quarterback of that ilk, it could have been even bigger, right?
Jacob Palmer had 1 year for us at Rummel, and he threw anytime he had a chance, he threw the ball to Jamar. And then Chandler Fields liked to throw the ball around a lot too. So he played with three guys who could throw the ball, but he played with three quarterbacks in 3 years.
Yeah, Chandler was excellent here for Rummel as well, and Palmer was your guy in his junior year, and he got him the ball quite a bit. Memorable games, of course, he had a bunch of those. Yeah, and I don't know, I could cite a few myself, but you probably have great recollection of the Bird playoff game. He got hurt
the
there,
U-High
too.
game as a junior.
Yes.
Then the Jesuit game at Yeoman,
Yep.
which he just totally took over in the fourth quarter. I remember the John Curtis game, which was a huge crowd, big anticipation, Rummel Curtis. Curtis scores on the first play of the game on a dive. Guy goes 80 yards. On the ensuing kickoff, Jamar ran it back for a touchdown. The crowd was electric. I mean, we had two huge plays within the first 30 seconds of the game. And then the playoff game against Bird, in which we had kind of decided as a staff that, you know what, we're going to get Jamar the ball any way we can if we can have a shot to get to the state championship. In that game, he was phenomenal. He was a wildcat back, returned punts, kicks. He caught 4 touchdowns, I believe, had over 100-something yards receiving, and he got hurt at the end of the game.
Yeah, because if he's healthy the next week against Evangel, you got a really
I think
good
we
shot.
got a pretty good shot, yeah.
You know, so now you're down the road. At first, he didn't get a lot of attention in recruiting. Finally, did. We know the Les Miles story. Bottom line is, he's been everything you thought he would be, and probably more, right?
Oh, I was just watching last time on the SEC channel. They had a recap of the 2019 season at LSU, and the kind of year he had, and you can see that relationship he had with Joe Burrow at LSU, and you can see why it's carried over to Cincinnati. That those two are a good combination.
You watch him doing what he's doing. Obviously, you see Rummel mentioned all the time, and it has to make you smile. And then, of course, Christian Fulton having a really good season and being in the playoffs, and Sethan Carter still playing in the league with the Dolphins. It's got to make you proud.
It was. That was a special time at Rummel. That 2009 through 2016, 17, we had 5 or so guys in the NFL. You know, Cyril Grayson being one of them, 2 Stephen Dunbar still playing. So we had some good athletes come through here, some great kids. You know, and what makes me proud of Jamar is when he was in New York receiving the Biletnikoff Award. I was at a function. I got a phone call thanking me. Coach, thank you very much. And then he called me from the green room right before he was drafted by Cincinnati, which, you know, to me as a coach, I mean, for a young man to remember his coach like that, it really made me feel good. Just pick up the phone and say, hey, Coach, thank you, man. And here I am watching him on TV getting ready to get drafted and to win the award. So his parents have done a great job raising a fine young man, and he's made us all very proud.
I know Troy Holly helped him coming here, and he played basketball. I'm just glad, and I guess you're glad he decided on football, right?
Well, a lot of times kids these days make choices which way they want to go after 2 or 3 years in high school. And Jamar and both Christian, they were both basketball players and decided to, you know, concentrate on football that last year.
Good decision, right?
For that, yeah, look, I think they would have been just as good even if they would have stayed playing basketball, but that's how it is these days.
So Cincinnati Bengals, you're a big fan this weekend, right?
Oh, yes, I am. I've enjoyed watching him. I enjoy watching Joe Burrow. I tell you, he's a flashy, confident guy. I've enjoyed watching him. Like you said, 3rd and long, just throw it up to Jamar. And I can remember a couple of times thinking the same thing, you know, hey, 3rd and long, what do we do? Just throw it up to Jamar.
Jay, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Ken, thank you very much.